Hey, Kirkmore Show listeners, you can find every episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music.
Wow.
Boys.
Wow.
Let's go. Let's go. The soothing sounds. Robert Downey Jr. brings us in. We're back. The Rundown boys are back. Look at hey, Ziggy. Hey. There you are.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Wow.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys holding down the fort.
Wow.
Also appreciate, every single person, legitimately countless, how many people reached out and said how much they missed me, how great the Ziggy Rooney bit was,
Oh,
et cetera,
my
et cetera. I mean, literally, I cannot count how many people reached out and said both of those things.
How many did you reach out to first in questions?
Yeah.
In the DM?
Curious.
I can't count how many responses I got. That's all. Good to be back. Kirk deserved a break last week. I deserved a break the last couple of weeks. We can get into that later if we want. I don't know if the rest of the network that kind of got yelled at last week felt the need to take the week off, if they deserve the break, but who am I to say? I don't know.
I think it's funny that you thought you deserved a longer break than Kirk, but I mean, who am I to say?
Yeah. Well, the load management has taken off, Ziggy. I don't know if that was something you created and now the network has taken that on.
I mean, so we got the white whale and mutt. Then we had a scheduled bye week, right?
No.
And then I was supposed to go away. Then everyone in my house got sick, so we couldn't go away. So then we went away the next weekend. And now I'm sick again. I'm fighting through it. So I might bring that up a couple times, but I'm fighting through it for you guys, for the audience.
Wow.
For the KMS fans, KMS Rundown fans.
Bubble boy.
So let's get going.
Okay. All right. Well, Sheldon, you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Hey, it's the rundown. Here we are. We had one KMS show on Sunday night. We have the Unnamed Show. We'll pick through what we want. We got some random notes. We've got what I think the gift from the Golden Gods came down earlier this week with Mayo's standup was released with his beautiful podcast. I know Sheldon is very excited about this, so we're going to get into that. We got all these things to get into, and on the back end, we're going to play a little game. I don't know if this might take off, guys. I don't know if this might be something we can do. Maybe a little Mount Rushmore, and we'll do, some dead shows. The dead shows of the network. We'll do a little Mount Rushmore. If it goes well, this might be a little side project for us. We can have this take off. Yeah, and do our own show. I don't know what we would call it. I don't want to call it Mount Rushmore, obviously, but maybe there's something.
By the way, I think Sheldon got like a stress headache when you brought up Mayo's stand-up. Did you see that?
I see that.
He immediately went to the temple.
Yeah, he's looking around. I think he's looking for something to break here. Sorry, Sheldon, but this is what we got, man. This is the week. So
slim pickings.
Yeah, man. So KMS show.
Nothing slim about that. I like that.
Hey,
there it is.
That's fine.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay, we gotta get there. So the KMS show. Now 3 days a week. Now back to thrice weekly. I hope. I don't know if it's going to sound like it was going to get down to twice a week. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about this show, Ziggy. I don't know.
So.
I don't know what's going to happen with our rundown if we don't get that many shows.
Honestly, I would take twice a week if Ziggy's the one who fucked it up.
That's true.
That would be great.
You have to understand why 3 days. Like you got Portland coming up. It's a busy time. The Unnamed Show, clearly some more work needs to go into that now. The Minifans bitching. Like that's a good excuse. I don't know if that's really the reason, but I'm hopeful it'll come back to 4 once Portland's done. We do need Red. You and I are going to be there. We need a loud ovation because that's what got us 4 shows in the first place. So everyone's got to show up there.
It's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, you'd rather have 4 than 3. I'd rather have 5 than 4, but take what we can get.
I hate this. Please just continue.
Well, so Sheldon, I get the impression that Ziggy, a part of Ziggy's absence was, as soon as Ziggy went away, Coleman was getting shit on relentlessly. So I think that kind of saved Ziggy from having to also shit on Coleman. He's not having his best time here, Ziggy. So I do want to get you on the record here with your Coleman takes from either the KMS show, the Unnamed Show where he got shit on. Where do you stand as a Cole man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Cole man, but as Kirk said, I think Sunday he was like, guys, we got to get going here. Like kicking the pants. I think they heard it. I don't know. I mean, I could give some criticisms for the past week.
Minifans,
Minifans are kind of like children. Like we get hungry often. And when children get hungry, they get cranky. So I was kind of cranky last week for content. I was hungry for content. It made me cranky. I mean, Coleman's Twitter disappears. Like that's a kind of a big storyline. Not much action though, not much activity kind of playing out that storyline, like no video about it. They did so on the producer show today, Friday. They mentioned, I guess, someone hacked his account and he had people just report the account to get it nuked so that he nuked it basically because he got hacked because he didn't want people getting his compromised DMs from me filleting him.
Yeah.
So that was good. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We could have had probably more. I guess they went to Hooters and then Madam Web on Tuesday, released a video tonight. I don't know why you don't release something Tuesday, like tweet out a picture of Justin in the suit and the hat. Again, I'm cranky. I'm hangry at this point.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know if I really believe these things, but it's what I felt. It's what I felt this week. So I'm excited for next week. Get back. Although Mike won't be there. So he's in Austin. So it's will be another kind of like weird vibe week next week, but I don't know.
So this is where
we almost survived the week.
Is Mike in Austin this week? It's going to be next week. He's going to be away.
I think it's this weekend, if I had this right, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's out this week until whenever he's done having a threesome with whatever that chick's name was. I don't even remember it because she's not important.
Oh, well, why? What's even the point of him doing it? And why is there so much secrecy going on?
Because Mike is a big star and he's blind, Red. Okay. I don't know what is the matter with you. He does. Why are you laughing? I love blind Mike.
That's true.
No, you can't question him going to like. Sure, her podcast isn't for us, but it's pretty successful and it's part of a really successful network that Mike is like trying to kind of get in with a little. I mean, not necessarily those guys, but like the Louis J. Gomez guys, like it's all interrelated and you can't fault them for it.
No, I just like arguing with a box that's labeled Miss Peaches.
I forgot I did that, to be honest.
It is literally infuriating right now, but whatever.
So I don't know. I guess for that show, that KMS show, I was pleasantly, I was happy to have it. Obviously, I was hoping for more scorched earth on the Minifans. I don't think we got enough. I think there was other Minifans who deserved some shitting on, and it seemed like they were kind of holding back. It was weird energy. They talked about the weird energy. Justin was obviously like off his rocker. It was very strange from him. But I wanted more. Like I want them to shit on Menners more. I don't know why. Snell was the one who caught all the. I almost forgot about him. I don't know why Snell caught all the flack there. I thought there was more.
Snell
people
in the middle of the road. I'd run him over. I think.
I have no complaints about Snell getting scorched earth. Like he keeps making up this stuff that people are making letters in his mailbox, which. There's no way to know that's even true. No, and he keeps talking about it like a psychopath, like Miss Peaches up here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I enjoyed that because he left for over a year, like other people that do stand-up things and then act like they're too cool to mention it. Not going to mention any names.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So basically, like they're the same person. Fake people, but whatever.
Faithful. But here's
and then.
Please.
I was hoping there was going to be more vitriol, but then Kirk said he was just fucking around. I'm like, I was tuning in live. I was like, God, I was hoping he's going to murder people, including, other people that aren't in this podcast, and that didn't happen.
The little guy in Australia, I thought got away with it the most. I mean, he said that he wants 40% of the talks on KMS
fucking insane.
To be about the network.
Yeah, when people light themselves on fire, I just kind of keep walking. I don't pay mind. The fact that Kirk was like playing around with people on Twitter going into the show, I kind of knew he wasn't actually mad at them. I mean, he was. It made him mad, but he wasn't like I don't know, beyond coming back. I don't know. Again, like I said earlier, I don't think that was
average.
I didn't say that. That wasn't the reason for the three shows. It's just a good way to kind of code it. Just a lot going on with KMS. So,
are you saying
go 3 shows for a while and come back to 4?
Hold on. Are you saying that Kirk's Twitter thing was a bit, Ziggy?
Kirky bits?
I would know.
Okay. All right.
Ziggy bits would know.
God, you not answering is aggravating me.
Yeah, right? So we get the Unnamed Show. Okay. I don't know about you guys. I am under fucking whelmed with the Unnamed Show. And that has nothing to do with Kirk. And I like Whitney a lot. Portnoy is the worst part of this show. He is by far the worst part of the show. You could tell Whitney and Kirk want to get into stuff and really argue, and all fucking Portnoy wants to talk about is this fucking dog every week. It's a dog show now. He won't stop. Like, you're a dog lover there, Ziggy. I'm clearly not a dog lover. When is this going to end? Like, at what point is this show going to be great like we thought it was going to be?
I mean, first off, you should see someone wearing a mask like that. And I know why you would say I'm a dog lover. Clearly someone like this is a cat person. I don't know. I haven't been underwhelmed. It's just not, it's like 3 shows in, it's 3 alphas. Like they haven't figured out kind of the flow and who's taking control. I do like Kirk having the quick hook on the guests. Like that was definitely important. His mic is terrible. Like Sheldon, again, we always say in the middle of nowhere, like we hopefully sound better. I know we're not live streaming, but still the audio quality on this show is better than on that show. And that is kind of hard to fathom. I like it for the ball busting. Like Whitney is an all-time ball buster. His comment at the end, I'm not even going to say it, but it's like, that's just why it's a great show. It's because you just don't know what you're going to get. I do have to say, did you think it's curious that the show is on Dave's YouTube channel and not the Barstool one? Like, is there anything to read into that? Like he's afraid someone's going to say something and get a strike on the Barstool channel, or is it just, I don't know. Cause that's not, I don't know. I'm assuming he just does like pizza reviews and dog stuff now on his channel. And then you get Unnamed Show. So I don't know if that interests anyone else.
That does to me. I assumed it was the same reason why he wanted to call it the Dave Portnoy Show. It was more about like him being the central focus, his channel being the central focus. That's where the Dave Portnoy Show was. So I assume that's where they just go for that channel. I didn't read that much more into it. It would be great if Portnoy and the rest of his fluffers were ready for this show, because it seems like Coleman's issues aside, it seems like there's 4 or 5 people who are working on this show. I don't know why some of it is based in New York either, but it is, and that's fine. It just does. It seems like there's many people working on this show, and yet they're not giving Kirk the information, so he has the proper rundown to do it. And he doesn't have the proper microphone to do it. So it has not worked. It's been a disappointing show so far for me, because I just had high hopes. But.
Yeah, if you're looking for fireworks every show, I don't think we're going to get that. But I don't think should be the expectation, because that would be forced if it were.
Yeah, bang, 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 Dave. How's Miss Peaches? Bang, bang. Yeah, it's been fine, but Kirk's audio fucking sucked at the Bussin' studio, which I'm not quite sure how it was, because he was technically in a professional studio, not that one in Watertown, and his audio blew. But the only thing with the Unnamed Show, like Whitney and Kirk get into it, I'm tired of hearing about Miss Peaches. Yeah, you rescued her, Dave. Great job. You don't need to go buy her $8,000 bowls and then brag about it and then yell at Kirk and Whitney, be like, you don't know content. Okay, I could have bought her brand new bowls and made it content. No, I bought her $8,000 bowls. Like, what the fuck is the matter with you, you dummy? Oh, it is fucking insane. Yeah, I rescued my dog too. I didn't buy him $8,000 bowls to make content out of it.
But here's the deal. So it does get clicks, and that's great. That's awesome. That doesn't mean
awesome.
Yeah,
great.
It's not good on that show. Like I don't give a rat's ass about it. So just like,
all right. So let me cut it. Let me come in here.
No, on the Unnamed Show, please go ahead. Talking about Miss Peaches, it doesn't fucking matter about your dog. No way. Because it's supposed to take over for the Dave Portnoy Show, and you just keep talking about your fucking dog.
He's got 3 weeks built up here, Sheldon. Let him go. Here we go.
If this were the Dave Portnoy Show and it was just Eddie and Dave, and put those back in, and Eddie and Dave were talking about this every week, that's one thing. But the part that makes it work is Kirk and Whitney feel the same way about it as we do. So they're going at it. And I don't know. I think that's what's like funny about it, is they're able to bust his balls and say like, we don't care. No one cares. And then Dave can go back. I think that's the beauty of the show. It's like those 3 guys butting heads, 2 against 1. Like they're picking off. I don't know. That's what's funny to me. Again, I'm not looking for fireworks every week because I think that would be forced if it were. Like you might get fireworks with like someone like Smitty coming on or Nate Dogg and Dave yelling at him, but I don't think we're going to get the fireworks between the three of them every week, which is fine. Like I think it's been entertaining. It's just
how many times did Smitty say objectively in that? It seemed like it was just over and over again. He was just
also heard the Smitty argument a million times.
Yeah, I know that's a little stale. I agree. The zoom in on Smitty though after they played that audio and he's just like, just doesn't even say words. Just
I just listened. I didn't watch it. I'm a blue collar worker. I can't watch it live, so I listened.
Was my lunch break.
I
get lunch break.
But here's the thing. Is that was the first time I heard him use the exclamation point as his
that is
that was
I don't know why.
That's it said Jew, but it said Jew explanation point. I'm like, what? What a
explanation point from Portnoy was great. That was awesome.
If you know anyone from Philly that works for Barstool, they think that's a valid argument. Him, Max. I'm just gonna say those two because Max is the same way.
If you guys have anything else on the Unnamed Show or the Kirkman Hand Show,
I mean, I don't want to like be all be negative, but it is again that audio, but it's not.
It's not
having the rundown sent to them before for like Dave and Winnie to look over is just, I don't know. That's just weird to me. Like they clearly have stuff they want to get to. They think they should get to. Why is there not communication? I think there's just too many cooks in the kitchen with each guy having their own producers involved and no one's taking charge. And
Coleman had said, I think Coleman said in the producer show today that he had texted Kirk the rundown. So on that rundown that he texted Kirk, whatever that thing that he wanted at the top of his list, which again nobody gave a shit about either, and I don't know why Portnoy the buzz thing, like nobody actually cares about that. Portnoy wanted to get it out there. Portnoy just bring it up then, like who cares? But so there at least was an explanation there. Before I guess we're going to move on to this, Sheldon. You're going to have to
hold on,
please.
The Unnamed Show, I do enjoy it, and it's fine, but they're expecting Kirk and his producer Coleman to do all the work, and then they're just blindsided by all of it. And then Portnoy's really mad that, well, this wasn't higher. I didn't know you wanted to talk about it. Kirk is on the road. He doesn't even fucking know what this list is.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about it until that show. And honestly, I didn't give a shit as he was talking about it because it wasn't a big story. I didn't see it on Twitter. I didn't see it anywhere else. No. So
that's something.
I mean, if you want Coleman to produce the whole show, then he should send the list to Portnoy and Whitney.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not even on Coleman or Kirk.
No.
I mean, and when Portnoy's like, well, I'll make my own list then. Okay, fucking do it. You're just fucking banging your dog anyway. Who gives a shit?
Like, I'm not saying they should have been in brainstorming meetings, the three of them before they started episode 1, but that seems like pretty basic. Like, all right, we want to talk about.
Put one guy in charge of it to send you a list of topics, but he obviously didn't do it to Dave and Whitney, which they didn't want. And then you can't bitch about how the rundown's going. Like, what the fuck, dude? And he's like, I'm gonna start making my own list. Make your own fucking list, then, dude. Like, holy shit. Put one producer in charge so then you all have the same information, but you have information from 3 different people. It made no sense, but fucking whatever.
All right. Okay. Now listen. Yeah, go ahead, Sid.
We all agree, it sounds like, that when doing a podcast, it's best to be on the same page about what's going to be talked about on the upcoming episode. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. We're all on the same page on that. Yep. Moving forward, we're going to be good on that. Okay. So moving on. Mayo stand-up. We're going to go to Mayo stand-up here, okay? Well, this is what we're going to do, all right? This was the
has to be done.
It has to be done, and I don't know about you guys. Well, I think I probably know about Sheldon. This was the most incredible thing to come across our desk on a Wednesday, a vacuum of content. We needed something, starving, and here comes Mayo doing an 11-minute set, and he's talking about growth mindset and Santa's Village and cargo shorts. And I think you tweeted this, Ziggy, the comfortability he has with holding that microphone and walking around. It was alarming. It was inspiring. He's a local celebrity now, I guess. He's an all-star comedian, all these different titles.
So before we dive in, Sheldon, you owe Red and I a big thank you, because to in the DMs, Mayo told Red and I, like, can I please come on the show and talk about my stand-up tonight? And we shut it down for you.
Yes.
So you're welcome.
That's a fact. Yep.
You could have Mayo on the show to blow himself about his shitty stand-up set. I wouldn't be here. So you're fucking welcome.
I don't think anyone could watch that 10, 11 minute set and not objectively say that he killed. Like, I'm not saying that you think it was funny, but he destroyed that audience. He said it was like 500-600 people. I'm not buying that. The microphones obviously couldn't handle the applause or the laughter, but I mean, it was way too much cargo shorts for sure. Like, he's trying to make that his trademark joke.
Yep.
But he killed it. I mean, he absolutely killed it. Every single joke got a laugh, which was stunning.
He was
extremely comfortable up there.
Crushing. He was absolutely crushing. I don't know. I want to know exactly like where these people are from in the audience, where they thought this was this fun. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm laughing because I feel like we know him on some level.
Right.
Those jokes were not funny, and he was absolutely crushing with those people. They were the nicest people I've ever seen.
I'd like to think the average one, it was like a 60-year-old woman who spends all her day on Facebook and just laughs at, like, reshares every post. Diana Natali, like that type of person, that anything that's even remotely funny, they're just gonna like cackle over. But they ate him up. Like Sheldon, you can make an eating joke there too, but they absolutely ate him up.
And I will say this: there is no way on earth, Sheldon, there is no way that he is skinnier than Jeff T. Lowe. I mean, there's just no way. It can't be possible. The way he's waddling around on stage, it looked like he had a dumper in his pants, the way he was waddling around. So you must have enjoyed that, Sheldon, I'm sure. The floor is yours.
I know this is hard to believe, but I didn't watch the stand-up set. I know I've been accused of a past of not watching something, and I just saw clips. And guess what, Mayo? I watched the clips and they were fucking terrible. You were a fucking worse, boring, uglier Jim Gaffigan. You're not funny at all. Oh, you were just talking about cargo pants and like, Guess what? Jim Gaffigan does clean comedy and he is 100 times funnier than you. I'm sorry if you were doing stand-up in a nursing home, autism patients, and they were eating it up. It wasn't fucking funny. You're not funny. It didn't kill. You suck.
Listen, Sheldon, it killed.
I hope it killed them for their sake, because it was fucking terrible. And then you not bringing it up on the show and just using your bits on the show and not bringing it up is fucking pathetic. It reminds me of what a piece of shit you are, that you just use the show to get clout and then you ran away like a little bitch, Mayo. Remember, for 2 years? Because, remember, I had to quit my job because of you. You fucking idiot. You just used the show for nothing and then you ran away, you dumb shit.
Well, okay. All right. I'm gonna pass it off to Ziggy here, but I do very much agree with you, Sheldon. It was very poor instincts to not bring this up on KMS and have this be the jumping off point. So go ahead, Ziggy. Go ahead.
He muted himself, unfortunately. I will say this. The only thing missing from that stand-up was a little bit of crowd work. I would have appreciated some crowd work.
Thank you.
Sheldon, unmute yourself.
He
next
didn't
time
do any
that.
crowd work? Oh, because he was only thinking about himself. Shocking. Because Mayo just thinks about... May, he just thinks about himself, literally. He doesn't give a fuck about the show. He just worries about Andrew.
All right, mute
Mayo.
this kid.
God damn it, you guys.
I gave him this advice and I thought it would be good. If he had pointed to someone in the crowd and said, look at this guy. He's dressed he's like really dapper. Look how cool this is. Probably a terrible father. Like, that place would have exploded. The roof would have come off. Terrible instincts though, like you said, Red, to not. He claimed that the video wasn't like uploaded by the time that he went on KMS. I guess Mick was doing the uploading there with the 27 gigs.
Sure, yeah.
But how can you not bring it up? Like, that's just I don't know.
And you're trying out your material on the KMS show.
He changed, which is kind of funny. He changed one of the jokes from a lovey to a stuffy, which stuffy sounds better. So that's what he used on KMS. So he's evolving there, but
hilarious.
Cargo shorts.
Okay, well, it was so I love that Mayo did this. I love that he put that out there. He didn't
put it out there. He didn't put it out there.
He kind of did, though. He kind of did.
He put it. If you listen to, I'm a P1 D1 Better Work Days listener. So he mentioned it on the show, which made me feel comfortable finding it on the YouTube and putting it out there, putting the link out there so everybody watched. I mean, he put it out there. I don't understand why he has to use growth mindset in everything that he does, whether it's his podcast and even his comedy setup. I'm hoping maybe he can do like million little pieces or 10,000 hours, something Malcolm Gladwell related next time for some of his bits. That would be nice. But you have to admit, like, Mayo's ability to be up there and be able to do that was a great show. And thank you, Mayo, for giving that to us this week when we needed it the most. That's all. That's all I want to say. Okay. All right. Well.
You know the Office episode where Michael's he's at the company meeting and he does the twirl in the point, and then afterwards, like, the crowd's going crazy and he like runs back on stage. I guarantee you that's what Mayo did after the video cut off. Just ran back on stage for the curtain call. The downside of this, Sheldon, is Mayo is now way more insufferable about himself, about his own.
I agree. He is a dumber, uglier Michael Scott, who's less funny. You're right, Ziggy. Nailed it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you, Mayo. So anything before we get to our Mount Rushmore segment, do we have any random notes?
I mean, it's almost like we were going to talk about the Coleman and Justin's Why Are You Laughing parody, which was, I appreciate the effort, but then Justin said it was like the worst content he's ever produced, which I think we probably all would agree with. There wasn't any.
That was the funniest thing out of the Mayo stand-up was their Why Are You Laughing? They parodied it.
The only thing I didn't like, though, is it seemed like it was coming from a place of hate. Like, it did seem like, I don't know if you agree with this, guys.
Well, they were hating on Craig more than anything. They shit on him a lot.
Well, they did, and rightfully so. I mean, I'm an Ironhead guy, but he's not necessarily great on that show all the time. But my issue would be, it seemed like Justin was very like angry towards Mayo at the beginning, like how he was setting those things up. It was almost like a gotcha moment of going through Mayo's history when all he needed to do was just go over the comedy set. Like, he could you just play those clips and do that. Like, that's the best part of it.
But you have to go from the beginning. If you go through the whole beginning of Mayo, you don't just start 6 months ago. You start from the beginning on what a piece of shit he was.
Well,
building up
just
to
in
that.
Case anyone
you
ever
can't forget about who Mayo was.
Right.
Never forget.
Oh, God, you guys.
Never forget.
Okay.
Yeah, they got lost. They got lost in the bit. We've all been there. Bits
I
are
got
hard.
lost
Not
in the
everyone
bit.
can have
I
it.
was in the past. I haven't gone to the beginning yet.
Who among us? Okay. All right. So my random note had to do a lot with, and Sheldon, this is going to hit home with you for sure, as we know, the movie talk from Justin, not knowing Glenn Close, having no idea Sean Connery, the Untouchables, how he's not seen the Untouchables as much as Kirk has talked about the movie. I think that is actually a legitimate criticism. Right. There was some similar criticisms of Mike when he was working full time for the show.
Midnight Run and
like you got to watch these movies, man. Like, you got to get into that stuff because Kirk talks about them a lot. Like, if Justin hasn't seen Glenn Ross, like, that's a problem. You need to watch those movies. Like, I don't know. So Sheldon, I think there's probably a few of those movies you have not seen. Is that correct?
I thought Glenn Close was a chick, so I can't.
There you go. So you got that.
Hold on a second. That
wasn't a chick.
Oh no!
I had no idea. I didn't know it was a chick, and I haven't seen any of those movies. I've seen Midnight Run a few times. Good movie, but like when Justin was explaining them what they were about, I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Apparently, they're not even close to right because I haven't seen the movies. So I want to mute myself. You guys go ahead.
I like how Kirk was like, they're talking about Kevin Costner, which I think Justin knew him from Superman Legacy or something. And he was like, have you ever seen Bonnie and Clyde? I've heard of them.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah, that is great. Yeah.
I just would say with Glenn Close, I'm pretty sure Justin when Kirk or Coleman said she was in 101 Dalmatians, that he was thinking of the animated one, because he was like, yeah, well, you don't really see her face, right? He's like, well, you kind of do. I mean, she's all dolled up, but still, you just see her.
Yeah.
So is she hot? Because I have no idea what she looks like.
Maybe at one point in time.
Yeah, I think she can get it for sure. Or she could have at one point. She's been known to frequent Maine. I think she has a home here in Maine. So I've seen her around in some areas. I will say that she's
I'll text Montante, see what he thinks.
She's a fine looking lady. She was a fine looking lady anyway at one point. So that was my biggest takeaway, was just the and then obviously Robert Downey Jr. talk was the biggest, longest segment that they did. The worst one that they did, that I thought, in my opinion, was just the Kevin Cullen stuff. But I'm one of those people who's just burnt out on Kevin Cullen, so it's not for me. Just not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're calling out. Yeah, I mean, people said the first part of that show was a weird vibe, but then the second half, yeah, it's like again to Cullen, get their feet wet a little bit, but then like the Justin movie stuff, that's just like, that's great KMS. And when I knew the show took a turn was when they were talking about Al Horford, and they're talking about max contracts in the NBA, and Mike threw out like one of the all-time worst guesses of 20 million max contract. And so when Mike's making these like terrible guesses, that's when KMS is back on the rails.
100%.
That wasn't even the worst. It was today when Coleman goes on the producer show. Well, is he still playing?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. He only plays the Knicks 4 times a year. Yeah.
I mean, he's playing not great as his contract is paying him, but I'm talking contract. What he's getting paid. It's insane.
Didn't he just go to a Celtics? He just went to a Celtics game, did he not? Like, didn't he go to a Knicks Celtics game? How does he not know that?
I think he did. Yeah, he's a diehard fan. I don't know. Just a lapse in memory there.
Get over it, Red.
Okay, listen, I'm not a Cole man. I guess I'll go with it. What? Any other random notes?
Yeah, Ordway. I mean, Glenn Ordway, being a fan of the network, is like honestly hard to wrap your head around. And I do wonder, like, is he? We know he likes to gossip. That's always a big thing about him. So does he like the gossip, the drama of the characters on the network, or does he just love KMS so much that he's trying to get as much content as possible? But I don't know. That's just like hard to fathom. Like, does he put it on on his big screen? Does he watch on his phone? Yeah. And he's the new white whale. Mutt was the white whale. Thank you, Mutt, for coming on. We got to get Ordway on.
We got to get Ordway. And I want to know, like, I feel like our microphones and our pipes are better than John from Scranton. So that hurts my feelings that Glenn Ordway wouldn't.
He might have been confused. I'd like to think he's confused. Yeah.
I honestly wish I quit smoking now. So Ordway wish my voice was better for radio.
Yeah. Well, listen, Glenn, if you're out there, I know you're out there, buddy. We got a seat for you. Okay. Don't worry.
And I would also like a DM shitting on Ziggy, please, Glenn.
Oh my God. That would be everything. Oh, maybe if Glenn could block Ziggy, that would be fantastic too. Yeah.
I like when Coleman was like, Kirk said that the Big O was down on Coleman. He was like, oh, he's like, do you even know who that is? He's like, no, but it's just another person that's down.
That was a good moment for Coleman. Any other random notes,
yeah,
Sheldon?
I mean,
or Ziggy?
Ahead, Sheldon.
No, just my random notes was Coleman literally getting his, which I kind of believe that he got hacked, but he didn't, and then just had his account reported a million times. It gets suspended to get all of his past tweets out of there, which is something I would do. So I kind of commend that.
Good call. Yeah, we don't get his old tweets anymore. That's too bad. And there were some really bad ones
because they're gone. So
Ziggy, what did you do? Did you do this? Yeah. This was a deep fake. You did this. You got rid of all his old tweets.
I need Coleman to say if his account was linked to his email or his phone number, because if it's linked to your phone number, then there's no goddamn way.
He said he saw the email of whatever it was changed to. I don't know if he said he saw the phone number, but he said he saw the first two letters of the email.
Honestly, I commend him either way, because if he did that to get his fucking account nuked, I would have done the same thing. So good on you, Coleman.
Yeah. I think he did that on purpose. Now I got something here. Now I got something. Now
no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah.
So Mutt took some shrapnel from someone that DM Coleman, the guy that Mutt went to high school with, and claimed that
Probably
Mutt.
from you, but that's
No, it
okay.
wasn't me.
Mm.
Claimed that Mutt takes. Well, Coleman said Mutt's 3-point shot is two-handed, like a set shot. I'm wondering if the guy actually said free throws, because that would be much more relevant to the free throw conversation. Yeah, a little set shot. I reached out to Mutt, being a good journalist. I just said, true or false, confirm or deny that you shoot your 3-pointers two hands. Patently false was the response. And he did tease some potential content coming out of it. So that would be well welcomed. Mutt, but patently false. He's a one-hand guy. He's good. He's got it. He knows what he's doing.
He's got the fun. Yeah, I don't see him as being like that swimmer shot.
Yeah,
I don't see. I can't say that. He's not.
No, he's fundamentals.
He never misses a leg day. We know that. He'll drive 40 minutes for a leg day. So damn well he can get that thing up there. I had no doubt. So I'm with you there, Mutt.
Yeah, and also on Mutt, Kirk mentioned the big, huge mush bandwagon UConn fan, Kirk, and then they lose to was it Creighton? But Kirk saying that he was texting Jeff D. Lowe about the UConn game and not Mutt. That kind of hurt. I'd like to maybe add Mutt to the group chat, like a little UConn group chat, get him involved. That would maybe, I don't know. That would go a long way for Mutt, I think.
Yeah, the Minahan curse, the Minahan guarantee, it lives on, man. It is a brutal one.
There is no way. I mean, you're trying to be hurtful and edgy now, Ziggy, but that wasn't a thing with Mutt. Mutt, I would like to point out that I didn't bring this up. We all thought you shot free throws and 3-pointers like a normal person. Ziggy brought it up.
I didn't. No. Someone said it. Someone made the accusation. I knew that. I just didn't want to lead him with the question, but I knew.
As a journalist, okay, Big J, he did it. You got the answers.
Mutt, okay. I know you shoot like Dougie McBuckets. That's fine. Ziggy was questioning that.
I love that.
Remember that.
It's a good reference.
Clemmer's 100-hour stream, 100 hours of isolation. Any thoughts there?
It's not much of an isolation if you have a mini fridge. The mini fridge is a backbreaker for him. You can't justify that. I don't know. I mean, at least have a cooler. You can't have a mini fridge. You can't plug that thing in. That's not
and it. Then I guess he said, and maybe in the blog, like Vibs is going to be doing some contest for him to like win, I don't know, more food. Like, so is Vibs like going in, or he should have no contact with the outside world, no Rumble chat, none of this. I don't know.
Well, the chat, I actually kind of like the chat because at least he can see that and they can be trolling him in there. So at least
but that's entertainment for him to just watch it, where he should just have the baseball almanac, which is enough for him. We know that. Clemmer's a baseball guy.
Yeah.
I love him. But my biggest takeaway was there's clearly still animosity between Clemmer and Justin, because Justin was leading him. I think he was leading him towards the alcohol kind of path.
Yeah.
And then Clemmer called him out, like, what are these leading questions? So there's definitely animosity there. So that hopefully whenever Clemmer's back in, Kirk can kind of pull away at that.
Yeah, and you could see like the instincts for Clemmer was like he was saying like you don't want to make it too difficult. So he's in that meeting and he's trying to like make sure as the producers are coming up with it, making it more difficult, more painful for him, which actually is more interesting. Yeah. And he's like trying to put up barriers there. Like you have to go all the way in if you're Clemmer. Like you can't. There's no half measures here. So it's perfect Clemmer instincts on that, where he's just kind of like trying to find a way where he can still make this, not so miserable for himself, which that's the key. That's why Jersey Jerry does these things, is he makes it absolutely miserable on himself. And that's how he gets the views. And that Clemmer doesn't have those instincts. It's too bad.
I love Clemmer, but he is Clemmer. And he made all these rules where he got a mini fridge. He could go to the bathroom before it started. He had bathroom breaks. And then no one could fuck up with him while he sleeps. Okay. I'm married. I would love that. That'd be great. So, I mean, if there's no rule, or if there's rules like that, like, well, I can sleep and not be fucked with, great.
Yeah.
I would do that. I can make $100 easily.
You catch up on so much sleep. Right, like all these guys, all these married guys with kids would kill for that opportunity. I get a mini fridge and I get to sleep as much as I want. That's a dream. That's the dream right there.
That honestly sounds amazing. If he doesn't make this, then I'm very disappointed in you, Chris Clemmer, because my God, dude. And honestly, if they wanted to punish him, they should only let him have a reference of Ziggy talking about late 90s Boston Red Sox.
No, Ziggy Rooney just playing the whole time. That might be better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be terrible.
I do have
too.
another Clemmer point.
But
Keep going.
I need him to only be able to have conversation with Ziggy's before they won the World Series. That's what I need. Because that would be a punishment. Like, I don't need 04 to happen. I need 01 to happen, 02 to happen, 03 to happen. And then that would be a punishment.
Do you think I was like Frank the Tank as a 9-year-old?
I don't think you were 500 pounds, but yes.
Ziggy, anything else?
Yeah, I had one more kind of Clemmer related.
Please.
You guys can feel free to roll your eyes. This is the kind of the PSA segment of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Not your head, your eyes, you idiot. The Minifan Fantasy Baseball League is looking for a couple new members.
Jesus Christ.
But I'll tell you why.
Thanks for the invite, asshole.
I'll gladly take your $100. Sadly, we lost Daver. That wasn't a big surprise. Like, the amount of jokes he would have gotten in the group chat would have been pretty I don't know even what the word I'm looking for. Exhausting. I will say though, to his credit, Daver always paid on time. Montante also has always paid, but he would every year he asked me if he can wait till Friday. It's like his payday to send. I'm the commish, so I get the entry fees. Most trustful Minifan. So yeah, we've lost Daver. That's sad. We lost a couple other guys, but then we lost Clemmer from the group, which is a big hit because Clemmer's a draw. Like, people want to play with Clemmer, right?
Why'd you lose Clemmer?
Well, I don't want to get into specifics. There might still be some lingering beef between Clemmer and Montante. So that's a gift. That's a gift for someone to kind of, again, pull away at next time there's one of those guys in studio. But yeah, I think that might have been the reason. Obviously he's got his own stuff, but Clemmer's gone, Daver's gone. So we need a couple more people, $100 entry. Good group of guys, Gigs in the league, Sopranos guy, Chris visiting nurse from Rhode Island, all the heavy hitters.
Wow.
So DM me if you're interested, please. Thank you. That's
Jesus.
Wow.
Wow. I'm glad we got to that one. 3 weeks. It went by too fast, Ziggy. Man, we're so happy to have you back. That was great. That was great. All right. This is it. All right. Mount Rushmore. You can call it whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, are we going Kirkmore, Rushmore, Rushkirk? These are ideas. These are names that haven't been really played around with much.
Listen, we're breaking new ground here. So who knows what we're going to come up with here? I don't know, but I think this is going to take off. So we're going with dead shows, dead network shows, not anything currently. Even some of the stuff that's current, that's probably dead. Like, nobody's watching, nobody cares, even though it's very strong. So this is pre-strength. Okay, this is before Joe. This is BJ. Okay, so before Joe, this is what we're going with our network shows. Okay, now we've come up with the snake draft. I'm a pass first point guard. I decided to take the second pick. I assumed the first pick and the third pick are the best picks to have. So Sheldon, because you've been on this show the most, you're Mr.
Wait, we're not doing the convoluted pick that they do on the dog walk.
No, we're not doing that. I hate that shit. Stupid. God, I hate that shit, Eddie. So Sheldon, you're gonna get the first pick because you're the Iron Man. You're our Cal Ripken, okay? And then Ziggy, you'll go third. So we have a bunch of these, and I want on the record that Ziggy would not tell me what his list of all the shows were.
Why would I?
I just want to be prepared. I don't want to White Sox Dave this thing, but I might. So, and I don't really pay attention to the network, so I might screw this up.
To be fair, I think I said, can we all come up with a list so that we're going off and then I was like, I'm not telling you my list. So
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you did. So, Sheldon, the first pick is yours. Please, sir. And please write down your picks so that we know, because we're going to do a whole...
Oh, I got Excel open. Don't worry.
Okay, good. All right. Well, Sheldon, the floor is yours. And Sheldon, I swear to God, if you mention somebody that's called in one time who doesn't actually have a name or anything else, I'll lose my shit. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Great guy. He's a great
guy.
He's a great caller.
Yeah, he's great.
But I was trying to build my my team out, and I needed a first rounder, and I'm going to have to go a nickel's worth of free advice.
Wow. What?
Because he's a fucking terrible person and he thinks he's better than everyone. And he was in there at the beginning and then took 2 years off and then came back and still thought he was better than everybody. That's the first rounder. That's who I'm going to take.
1-1. I didn't even have him on my list.
I
did not even have it
list
on. I mean, I was aware of it, but I intentionally didn't put him on. The idea that he did a show where the whole concept was Minifans coming in and helping out. How many skills do Minifans have to help them? It's like, okay, how do you talk into a microphone? How do you cut up audio for clips? How do you maybe edit a podcast? Like, what's next? He did 3 shows, and then he did the one with Kirk, and then I think he did one with Menners, and then that was it. It's like,
no, that's not true.
Get Kirk on with him.
Then he also ran away, and then he came back as Mayo on the rundown.
Right.
That's true.
He's like, I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. I'm Andy Mayo.
Terrible planning for that. Like the fact he thought he'd have a long run. Yeah.
Nobody.
It's not a bad pick. I didn't have it on my board.
It's not a bad pick. You're scared. It's fine.
It's not a bad pick. I'm amazed. Nobody created a show more just to have Kirk on his show than Mayo, and then just ran away. Then it was done. Yeah, then it was
number
done.
2 pick.
All right. Okay. Well, Mayo's off the board. That was neither one of us are going for that one, children. I don't know if that was a good one or not.
I messed up in the head. I have no excuses.
Okay. Well, listen. There's many to choose from. My list is all just Blind Mike shows. That's all. Wow. He's got so many of them. And I do miss having Mike on all these shows and everything on the network. I think Mike is sorely missed on the network. It would be nice. I know he's got his Patreon. If he could also add to the network and increase the strength, he's just got to talk to Joe. Thank you, Joe. But I'm going to go with Go for Geary. Go for Geary was one of my favorite shows. I know Don the Jeweler agrees with me. So Go for Geary is my first pick. There's nobody better for calls, especially when we had that vacuum of time when Kirk was away. Go for Geary helped us out big time. So Go for Geary was my first.
It's a good pick. That's like Portnoy says, cheese pizza, 100-yard dash. Go for Geary. It's just like, you know what you're getting with that one. Fastball right down.
100%.
All right. I mean, I had a lot of different ways I could go, but I'm just gonna at least start off chalk. You got to go OG Minifans. You got TJ's butt crack showing. Steve from Providence, like zooming in, pointing at the camera when Blind Mike's groupie came on. Just so many great classic moments. RA with his basement that's definitely not finished yet. The dealing with up there, like so many great moments. That show led to a lot of good content on the main show. It went on for a really long time. It had a good long run. So OG Minifans.
OG Minifans.
That's my pick.
You are definitely the Carl of this draft. Trying to
just you wait. All right. Okay. So it's coming back to me.
No. Sorry, you say back
draft.
to me.
Snake draft.
Snake draft.
Oh, fuck!
Idiot.
It's your pick again. Damn it!
I don't think you would have had my second one. Yeah, I got to change. I got to switch it up now that you gave your strategy away, going all Blind Mike. That was a dumb move. Okay, so this show, I'm not going to lie, like legitimately, probably the most boring show ever to be on the network.
I already picked that show.
And I watched History Buffs. That was a written joke. I had to do it. Must See, which had Red, John from Scranton, and Blind Mike. This show lasted 5 episodes.
It was great.
5 episodes. 3 of those had Red. Again, Blind Mike, John from Scranton. Just reviewing TV shows. Like, this is peak pandemic. Let's just talk to talk. But the last episode, which was, I think there were 5 again. The last one did not have you on it, Red. And I just started just to hear what it was. And it was Mike saying that you reached out to Mike and was like, oh, I think I'm done with the show. And then you're like, oh, actually, I think I'm not. And then Mike went on this rant, like, I don't know about Red. I got to talk to him off camera because sometimes he's so nice to me one time, and then he goes on another show and he's like mean to me. And I don't know. I always just bring back all these memories of the drama of Red, of Mike. But yeah, terrible show. But
great.
Terribly boring show.
Great
I got to
show.
take it because I knew you would eventually probably get there.
Great show. That was going to be my next pick. You son of a bitch. Yes. I do know that Mike got very upset. Just a little backstory, quick backstory. Mike got very upset because I asked if I could use the network to do a show with Ned Snark and John from Scranton to do Game of Thrones. So that's what I asked him.
And then they did a special one.
They eventually did one, but Mike got mad because he thought I was kicking him off his own show. And then that was like while he was on KMS, he got all mad.
I think Justin did it. Time. I think it was Justin, Ned, and John did it.
Yeah. It was bad.
That was that was pre-fencing days. Like he definitely got much less sensitive. But those were the sensitive Mike days for sure. That's funny. I didn't know. I didn't remember that.
That was a great.
All right, we lost Sheldon, but Red it is.
All right, it's my turn. All right, well, I'm gonna need your help with this, Ziggy. I think this is still gonna be a legitimate pick. I'm gonna go with Latino Kirk's spicy What's that? In Fuego. Thank you.
El Fuego.
El
Yeah.
Fuego. Excuse me. I'm going with El Fuego. Nobody was better at hyping up eating spicy food that was not actually that spicy than my guy Latino Kirk. And I could have picked. I wanted to pick the dating sex one-off show that we did with Latino Kirk and I
forgot about that one. Yep.
Dr. Love, but
Yep.
I went with El Fuego. So that was my pick.
I want to say, yeah, I mean, I had it on my board. It's just a classic, like Hispanic guy eating spicy food, 10 minutes. Like what you see is what you get. Nothing, no frills, no fancy. I think one of the first shows probably to do a live show. I think at the first Saco, he had a table set up. He did like a live recording of it. So really a groundbreaker. And I think LK is like supposedly coming back into the world. Who knows?
If you would do us a solid, please bring that show back at least just one time, please.
Right.
Maybe in Portland. It was fantastic. The spicy ramen that really, again, wasn't that spicy.
All right,
So,
Sheldon, hold on. Let's put his headphones back in. Sheldon, you auto drafted midnight. You auto drafted Menners in the morning and Midnight Menners.
Yeah.
So it's back to you, Sheldon. You're up. You got two back-to-back
I just wanted Menners at night or
you can take
Super
it.
Lemonades.
Those your picks?
Those your picks.
My picks would have been because
no, it's you're up. You're
up. I
took El Fuego. I took
El Fuego.
Yeah, Latino Kirk.
Fucking kids. So I'll cross out in Fuego.
El Fuego.
Maybe that, I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm actually taking Better Than It Used to Be.
Ooh,
where are those guys at?
Because
like I live in the middle of nowhere and I need handy tips for around the yard in the house. They're gone. I don't know where they are. I don't even talk to them anymore. So where are they? Where are they at?
I do miss that show. I've heard it's Stanley Kubrick-esque, the amount of time it takes to put one of those shows together. Yeah. So if they ever want to put together another sweeping epic on the lake, I think they should do it because I do love that show.
So arguably too well done for the network. Overproduced maybe, perhaps, but
possibly.
The rare show I would not listen to on 2x speed because there's just so much packed into it. Most Zoom shows I just put on 2x and just listen, but that was the rare one I would not.
So I would like, I don't know where they are or the hosts. I'd like them to come back, and my other pick would be Stonks. I fucking hate that guy. Sure. He's a fucking asshole, and he thought he was better than everybody, and he gave shitty stock tips and then ran away. Fuck you, Stonks, you fucking douchebag. I
probably
hope
could have waited on that one. That's a great pick.
No, I hope you're bankrupt. You fucking retard. Fuck you.
Oh my god.
I fucking hate Stonks. He's a piece of shit.
No one knows who he is, but Sheldon.
I love that.
I don't even know who he is, but his show sucked. And fuck you, whoever did that show.
There's no way Ziggy or I would ever pick that show. That's incredible.
I had it on my peripheral. But...
It was okay.
Piece of shit. Hopefully he is bankrupt and dead.
Okay.
Red.
All right.
You had a great pick with Better Than It Used to Be, and then you had Stonks. Red.
Stonks sucks. I just want everyone to know that. He's a piece of shit.
Is he? Okay. All right. We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to Stonks. I want to get your full thought on there, Sheldon. Question. Now, are we talking? I need a clarifying question. I don't want to sound like Carl too much, but can I get Mike and the Minifans, Mike Geary's version of Mike and the Minifans?
I thought about this. I think I'd give it to you because it was a different show post Mike and the post
different
Mike.
show. It wasn't even on. It wasn't even on
you.
the current network, right?
I'd
so
give it to you.
Okay, all right. So I'm getting Mike, the original, the best version of Mike and the Minifans, and that's a shout out to all the folks who were written on there. I know I had a couple of runs at it, some great times. Sheldon, I know you had some runs at it too. Ziggy, I don't know if the dog mask ever got on Mike and the Minifans.
I had Justin and the Minifans.
You had Justin and the Minifans.
I was never on a version of Mike and the Minifans.
Oh, really?
With Mike or Justin or
wow.
Sheldon was a Poppy's Kitchen guy, I think.
Yeah, listen.
Okay, that's true, but fuck you.
If you guys ever want to talk to me about how elite I am as a Minifan, you let me know. But okay, all right.
That was a must watch, one of the rare must watch shows.
I'm texting with Stonks right now.
All right, I got 2 back-to-backs.
Let's go.
I'll take one that maybe get brought up. Intern show. Honestly, if all the shows that need to come back, it's this one. Because I think the interns are just really dumb and I think provide good content, bad audio. But you had Nick Streeter who just said nothing. I think the one time he whatever he said made on the show was he talked about Larry Bird maybe and like the modern NBA or something like that. And then you had Will just blabbering on like incessantly. And then Justin was terrified to say anything to get in trouble. So it wasn't a great show, but it did lead to some funny moments. But my main thing is that they need the interns to come. They need more than one intern, first off. So intern Nicholas and someone else need to do a show because I think that could provide good main show, bad audio. And then my last one, I got 2 here. Okay. I'm also going to pull a car that goes off that breaks the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Allow me, please, to take both of DJK's shows, which was No One's Listening and Grow Up, because they kind of morphed, like one went right into the other. So I don't know. If you maybe choose, I would do.
I'll allow it if you explain to me the premise of the 2 shows. Yes,
well,
of both of them.
No One's Listening. No One's Listening was the one that had like a million jump cuts and was like way overproduced, but it did numbies. It did absolute numbies. DJK is just like a firecracker. And then Grow Up, I don't know why he made the change. I think because everyone said there were too many jump cuts. Grow Up was just him and Stinman. If you remember Stinman 86.
Oh, yes.
A legend of the game, network alum. Just like DJK like on Addy and then Stinman on Downers. And then I think they had Kirk on one episode, which that's where Stinman really was.
Stidman walked so Beyond Average Christian could run. You know what I mean? without Stidman, we don't get Beyond Average Christian. We don't get him. So I appreciate it. That's a great pick, Ziggy. That's a great pick.
Thank you.
Well done. All right. Do I get one more? How's this work?
You get one more, Sheldon.
Okay. I get one more.
For Ziggy. Yeah.
All right. This is it. This is what it comes down to. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Mincel Intel. Listen. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna do it. Sorry, Sheldon. Listen, nobody had a better intro song. Nobody did. And nobody pissed off more OG Minifans, which I kind of really like.
Yep.
So they got under the skin, of a lot of guys. So I'm gonna go Mincel Intel with my last pick.
Yeah, great pick. I totally agree.
Yeah. All right, Sheldon, go ahead.
I got no thoughts. I mean, 33.3 repeating % aren't in the world anymore, but yeah, it's great.
Can I give a little fun fact? The number one.
Great. I'm sure it'll be so fun.
Okay, it's really not that fun. I don't even want to bring it up, actually. So carry on.
Oh, bring it up. Bring it up.
The number one. Do you want to guess the number one show on the network with the most views that's not like a parody song or like there's one with Portnoy that has like 50,000 views. You want to take a guess at which episode? It's Mincel Intel. I'll give you a little hint there.
Was I on it?
No, it was the Zonker one, which I think came like right after they bought the views. So their whole thing was like not buy views, but still get a lot. So the Zonker one, I think, has the most. Well, obviously our first rundown this year surpassed that. People claim they're bought views. I have yet to see proof, but
I haven't seen any proof.
There's an asterisk there for sure.
Yep.
All right, Sheldon, last pick, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yep. Which really his first pick was irrelevant. It's fucking irrelevant too, but that's okay.
You're muted, Sheldon.
And you're muted, Sheldon. And you're fucking muted. I think you hit your computer. There he is. Yeah.
So all my picks have been irrelevant.
The first one.
I would like to go the Mini Ladies where they ran every new lady ran away. You know, Kirk said that a couple weeks ago that they raped them on the air and ran them off.
Yep. That might have happened. Yeah.
Not might have happened. It did happen. But R.I.P. DD. Yep. So we're going to go.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick.
No, I'm not picking that.
Oh, you're not?
Oh,
that was a big okie there. Wow.
We're not picking the ladies because fuck you, Lauren, for beating me in fantasy football every week.
Whoa.
What? So we're going Super Lemon Haze.
There it is.
Wow.
It's a show that was on from the beginning that stalked the studio to get on the network, and then finally got let on, and they literally got under 100 views every day.
A niche one.
Yeah.
He was very
Niche
persistent, and they were there. And
he was
terrible.
consistent.
I never listened to it because I'm sure it was awful because I don't give a flying fuck about weed. But Super Lemon Haze is my last pick.
And that dude was jacked. He almost took Cullinane out. So,
Well,
much respect.
Cullinane's dad is like 5'5" and very skinny. So,
Thank
was
you.
he jacked or was he just bigger than Cullinane?
That's a good that's a
I
perfect
love
segue.
you, Dave. I'm sorry.
That's a perfect. I don't know what
Sheldon.
Sheldon's got Kirk's mic all of a sudden. I don't know what happened, but that's a
He
perfect
went number
segue. If we want to go into honorable mentions, I do have a
Please.
couple honorable mentions, but one in particular. So one,
Please.
this one is just for me. Some Insane News, Matty Roscoe Rob, again, rest in peace. I plucked this guy out of obscurity. He was on the Facebook group posting his Some Insane News, like 10 views. And I was like, hey, like put this on the network. Like, what are you doing? Like just the Minifan Facebook group. So I pulled some strings, made some connections. My people talked with his people, with the network's people, got Some Insane News on the network. I mean, the rest is, as they say, is history. So I do take a lot of credit for it, but honorable mention, Some Insane News.
I'm pretty sure that Rob came on the rundown.
No. Ask him. You can ask him.
What?
It was all me. This was a Ziggy op all the way.
Okay. I don't know if you get to take credit for that, but if
you'll
you
give me
want
the credit.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I'll give you that.
Don't do this, right?
Don't do this.
Any other honorable mentions before I get to my last one?
My honorable mention would be Robinson Report, just because there's nobody who launches a million white power marches like the Robinson Report. Nobody gets angry, poor white people going like Steve Robinson. So
I got one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna mention Tony Cass, who probably would have been great on the Robinson Report too, as a counter.
He doesn't exist. So that's fine.
Okay, well that's
I
fine.
miss
Go ahead.
Anal.
Excuse me.
Anal is a show that is gone, and I miss it with Latino Kirk and Adam and
Ned Stark.
you know, the old guy.
the old handsome guy.
Yeah, the old handsome guy that held the show together. It's gone. It's gone now. Ziggy hates it, and you hate it because Ned is way more attractive than all of us.
Yeah, Ned is great. I'm pissed that I talked over your sound when you said you missed anal. I'm sorry.
No, I think we got it. I think that's clear.
All right, you got that clean.
No,
Okay.
we didn't get that.
I think we got
Delete.
I think we got
delete.
All right, my one honorable mention. I guess my second one.
It's gonna aggravate me.
The Aussie Minifan show. I'm a huge Jamie guy. I don't know if he's in the world anymore, but I do like shout out to Jackson. He's a great Aussie Minifan as well. I got a little show and tell here. So what I'm going to show is just a classic Menners from, I don't know if that's a studio or that's someplace in the South. It's just a classic shot. Notice the line, right? That red line where his shoulders is. Now I'm going to show you an Aussie Minifan episode they filmed in person. I'm just going to see if we notice anything different here. Look at how high up that chair is boosted so that he's at almost equal height at Jamie. I mean, I don't know if it's,
oh my God,
it's a stool. I don't know if it's on a phone book or just the chair. It's just all the way up. But look at that line. I'm gonna go back.
Oh my
clearly
God.
Below the wall, clearly above the wall. Like,
oh my
just,
God.
I saw that today. I was like, I gotta cut this up. And if you want side by side, just to see how far jacked up.
You imagine his stubby little legs just waving around underneth that table.
I mean, Jamie's a big guy. Like, he looks like a big guy, big burly Australian, but that I had to show that. Little shout out to Aussie Minifan show.
With the little kid Star Wars shirt on. Look at him. Oh my God. Oh, you do kangaroo, you. Look at you. Oh man, that is beautiful.
Yep.
Well done, Ziggy. Well done.
Yeah, so we can agree that Jamie is way taller than Menners, and that the tip line is way out of balance when he raised his chair up. That's whatever.
This. That's beautiful.
Indisputable.
Yes.
Wow.
You're right.
All right.
Our boys.
Well, hold on.
Oh, you got one?
Oh, yes,
I
please.
got one more. So we got Great Thinkers. Did you take that?
Nope, that's a good pick.
So,
Good honorable mention, King Cully.
For honorable mention, Dave, I know you are literally on your knees blowing Turtle Boy as he's in prison. You're beautiful.
I really miss
But
him.
Great Thinkers was a great show, and you were a great producer. So I hope you hear
Miss
this,
that guy.
even though you won't.
I miss that guy. Miss him.
Love you, Dave.
Miss you, Dave. All right, boys.
All right,
I think that's the rundown.
we're back. Mount
I hope
Kirkmore
so.
coming out Tuesday. I mean, that's definitely worth a spin-off, I'd say. So
I think
we'll
we got to
another
do a
one
show
next week.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's add it to the list. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's
the
fine.
rundown is done. Mount Kirkmore is back. Thank you.